Joining me now is ABC's Marcus Moore in Kyiv and ABC News national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy. Thank you for joining us here. Marcus, we heard from the Prime Minister there. What more can you tell us?
Well, the Prime Minister, Kenneth, really sending home the message that the Ukrainians are still fighting, despite the fact that in Mariupol there are a number of Ukrainian fighters who have actually been surrounded by the Russians, who over the weekend issued an ultimatum for those fighters to lay down their weapons and to surrender. That has not happened, and the Ukrainians say they are continuing to fight, and they simply are not going to give up. And the fighting does continue not only in the east, but the airstrikes continue across the country, including Lviv this morning, and even here in Kyiv, where just about an hour ago the air raid sirens were sounding once again. And Kenneth, it gives you a sense of the mood here and the tension that remains in the air as this war rages on.
Meg, Russia has given that last Ukrainian forces there an ultimatum: surrender or be eliminated. As Marcus just pointed out, day 54, it doesn't appear Ukraine is trying to do either.
That's right, Kenneth. I think from the Russian point of view, they really need Mariupol when it comes to their effort to attach Russia to Crimea via a land bridge, and then potentially move further and further to the east and take Odessa, which would effectively cut off the Ukraine from the sea. But as you just mentioned, the Ukrainians are willing to fight to the death, and it is much like the Spartans at Thermopylae. It is the last stand, but it could quite frankly backfire. As the Ukrainians fight with this much heroism, it sends a message to the rest of the forces, the Ukrainian forces, that they will never give up. And I think that is something that has an exponential effect on the battle.
And Mick, you mentioned that land bridge there. Marcus, you've discussed that right here on ABC News Live as well. If there is a Russian victory over control of Mariupol, but dig deeper for us on that. Like, what would a Russian victory over control of Mariupol mean in this war?
Well, it could mean a couple of things, Kenneth. First, a symbolic victory for Russia. You know, they tried to advance on Kyiv, and they were unsuccessful in doing that. And then last week, the Ukrainians say they were able to sink the flagship vessel there, the Moskva, that sank. And that was a major blow to the Russians. So they have pulled away from Kyiv, and all the evidence points to them preparing for a new offensive in the east, which observers say Russia believes it could be their best chance at some type of victory. But then strategically, as you and our guests have just mentioned, being able to establish a land bridge between Crimea and the Donbass would be a significant advancement for the Russians as they try to maintain or gain control of the eastern part of the country, and then that could allow them to have a little bit more success if they wanted to move farther west. So two things are at play there, and everyone in the world watching to see what happens. But as you've just mentioned, the Ukrainians are still ready to fight.
They are. And Mick, you know, we see the reality of this war even more with those strikes hitting Lviv, a place where, you know, it's been a safe haven for refugees throughout this war. So has that changed?
So it has been a safe haven for refugees, particularly the internally displaced people. I think they're trying to set a message that they want it to be changed. They want to create a massive outflowing of refugees into key NATO countries to cause a problem. This is also the hub of logistics for all the weapons, equipment, and ammunition that are going into the country. And with this influx of $800 million worth of equipment going in now from the United States, they want to try to deplete these key logistical hubs that are around Lviv that are going to go to this fight that Marcus just talked about in the east. They want to be able to stop those weapons. That should tell us that we need to do everything we can to get the Ukrainians those weapons, as it is causing so much problems to the Russians in their efforts to try to gain some territory so that they can claim some sort of victory.
All right, Mick Mulroy there. Thank you. And Marcus Moore in Ukraine. We appreciate it. Stay safe.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.